Well, welcome you all to a third episode of Shane's Crash and Burn. Today is January the 16th of 2022, it still looks like. I don't know what we're going to do tonight. We're going to have a little bit of fun. I've got a couple of guests that's going to come on. I'd call them special guests, but it'd be probably closer to special ed. But that way it makes me look smarter. And it may not. It probably made me look, these two probably outdo me. But either way, I'm here to have fun. We will take some call ins later, as long as everything goes well. But we will not put up with any disrespect. But, conversation is conversation. You don't have to agree. We will just, if you disagree with me, that's fine. As long as it's respectful, that is awesome. If somebody comes into the chat mods, as long as they're respectful, even if they're not maybe quite of our caliber, and they want to come on to the show, let them. If they want to have a conversation, which is fine, if they get out of line, we'll do what we've got to do, and we'll deal with it from there. So anyway, with all that being said, I'm going to bring into my first special ed guest. Give me just a second. I think he's prepping himself. When he gives me the thumbs up, I'm going to bring him on. All right. I'm going to bring him on. This guy's a pretty good guy. Controversial, but I like him.
What's going on, Shane? How are you today, bro?
Well, I tried to butcher that as good as I could before I brought you on. So you'd look like a hero. They're going, I'm glad you're here, Travis, because, man, he was killing this.
No. Oh, mercy. Picking on those dumb guys, I'm telling you.
Well, here's how dumb I am. I'm reading the chat over in the right-hand side, not on my other screen. That's a normal screen. But this screen, it keeps saying paired, and I'm thinking, where in the hell's Mike so he can tell me what paired means? I don't know what paired means.
Okay, paired means my chat's going to your chat and your chat's going to mine.
I like that. Now that's cool.
Yeah, we're running a stream. Yeah, we're running a stream on a stream, just like we did the other night.
Yeah, but see, I ain't that damn smart.
Yeah, well, that's the first time I'd ever done it was the other night too with Mike. It's really kind of cool.
I'd give out shout outs, but that's 300 and 401 people. By the time I'm done shouting out 400 people, I'd be going, okay, bye. Thanks, y'all. See ya.
Yeah, no doubt.
So anyway, I'll say it all at once. Thank you all for showing up. I appreciate all the attention, and give us a shot. I'm still learning here, guys, and I want to tell you, I've got a few people out there. I know at least three that really like me, and I appreciate them all together. So, and John's not one of them, but he keeps showing up. I think he likes the torture. Oh, and now we got our third special guest, and we'll see how this goes. We're going to add this to the mix just for S and G's, and I'm sure if everybody will write it down, they'll figure out what it means. So I want to bring this one in. I was just teasing. I'm not going to. I'm going to leave him back there struggling a minute. I like him to struggle.
Oh no! There goes the neighborhood.
There goes the neighborhood.
I couldn't get my sister on, so I had to find some. But boy, I was digging deep to find these two, and it was everything I could do to get these two to come on. So I had to pay one of them. So I just won't say which one. Mike, how are you doing this evening?
Oh, I've been better. How about you?
I'll let you know at the end of the show.
All right.
Anyway, Carol Z, I'll tell you this. I love competing with you on Podbean, but I've been on there so much now where I'm having to visit. I can't, but I love it. You are a avid competitor. I love that. Anyway, Travis,
Yes.
your show last night hit some phenomenal numbers.
Yeah, we
What'd
did
you-
over 12,000.
What'd you do? What'd you do different?
Well, I'm generally I genuinely want to bring our communities together, and the opportunity arose to put a whole bunch of people in the same place at the right time, and I thought it was I thought it was a good deal. We had some mishaps in there that I'm really frustrated over, but all in all, we had some good content. We got back in some rabbit holes, the usual, and but
Welcome to the world we live in.
yeah, but our cause I think our cause will catch some traction now. I really think it's important that we communicate with, we're not always going to agree, but we don't have to hate each other to disagree. That's the biggest problem I've got,
And you ain't got to belittle each other either. You can have a conversation, you can disagree, but you don't have to belittle anybody.
Okay, Mike, how do I put my chat up on it won't overlay
You
on
can't.
my channel?
You can't, Travis.
Do I need
You
to put it on
can't.
the overlay?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Shane's the
guys.
only one that can do it.
Well,
Okay.
how do I do that, Mike? Explain to me.
So
Yeah,
go to the
click on
top
chat.
right hand corner and just click on the chat overlay toggle, and it'll put up
Mhm.
on screen for you.
Well, I've
Yeah, a
got-
lot of people can't see it.
I've got chat.
Yeah, there's a little toggle right next to it, the little toggle button. Slide that.
I've got chat. I can see it on the side, but it ain't on the screen.
Yeah, you'll see it.
Oh, I
when
see
you-
it. Never mind. It's
There you
right
go.
below that. I'm sorry. I
There you go.
apologize.
There you
But
go.
I'm not
Yeah,
piss
sure.
ignorant. I'm just new. Okay, people. Sorry.
Shane's learning. He's learning fast. Got to give him a break. He's doing a good job. To be honest.
No one's got to give me a break. The more shit you give me, the more I love you. It's all good.
That's
You're
right.
a liar.
If it gives y'all something to talk about and you keep coming back to see what I'm going to screw up next, come back next week. I can guarantee there'll be something else.
Hey, people love the train wrecks.
Oh,
Well, that's
Getting
why I
less
brought
money.
Travis. He's king of them.
I don't know
Yeah,
how he's capable of doing it every time.
yeah. It's getting easy. It's getting easier to crash. I can just come back and y'all never even know it.
Well, yeah. So anyway, go ahead with your story on.
Yeah, about bringing our communities together. There's a lot of stuff that we don't agree on, but we all have the same common goal, and we've got to stick together. We can set our differences aside. If you and I disagree on 10 things, but we agree on one thing, we can take that one thing and build it into something better.
That's it.
Just like, what was it, the second time I come on or the first time I come on? We've got to open dialogue. We have to be able to listen to people, and we've got to be able to listen to people and not spend all of our energy telling them why we think they're wrong, because just because they believe different means they believe different. That it doesn't mean anybody's wrong in the situation.
Yeah, and see, I've seen some of that, and it's like I think different than you, but that doesn't mean you're wrong. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. It just means we think different. Long as the outcome's the same, who cares how you think?
Exactly. That's
As long as it
exactly
comes
right.
out to the same ending. And I want to tell you something. Who are you to tell me I'm wrong, and who am I to tell you you're wrong? There's only
Right.
one person to tell us we're wrong 100%, because everything we see, hear, think, feel, and want is speculation.
Right.
I don't give a shit. I don't care what you read, where you read it, or where it's from. It's speculation. Mike, you must be reading some good conversations in the chat.
No, I'm just enjoying this conversation, to be honest with you, Shane, because we talk about it all the time. And I
do.
guess my question to you is, you say that as long as we all come to the same conclusion or the same end, what if we don't?
Well, we got to find our common goals, our common grounds. I think a lot of us on the right. I think everybody on the right side is ready to save our country. Whether we're looking in a rabbit hole or we're going out into the public and talking to people and trying to help people understand that even I don't believe in some such and such doesn't mean that we still don't want the same thing. And in order for that same thing to happen, we got to stop the bickering between us. But go ahead, Shane.
I see somebody in the chat I need you to send the link to. I'm not going to because I don't have the conversation. I would like to have this lady up on panel with us for a minute.
Hey, Red. How are you doing, Red? I see Red in the chat too.
Red Billin or Red Stacker?
Red Stacker. He's in the chat. History and a hot dog. That's Red.
I'm talking on day 16. Can you shoot her the email and see if she might join us?
I would absolutely love to do that.
Do you want me to send Red the link to Shane just in case he wants to pop up?
No, I want to talk a minute and then we'll send it to him. I love Red to death, but I want to tell you what, that boy knows how to talk. I love him to death. I've been watching for a long damn time, but give me a minute and then we'll send it to him. I'm just picking on you, Red. Yeah, we'll send it to him in just a second.
Okay.
I'd like to have him up here too.
Hey, this is your ship. You're the one driving the bus. So if you need to boot me, just boot me.
Oh, trust me, I'm going to boot anybody I need to. That damn chat is not slacking any it tonight, is it? What'd you do? You speed it up before I took it over? You turn it on Zippo or something?
I didn't turn it up on you, Shane, I promise.
Son, I can't even keep up with it. Wow, that's crazy. No, but anyway, yeah, I see a lot of things out there, and it's one of those deals that I don't care if your opinion is different to mine. You're like you said, we've got to get to the same point. And if we don't, that's fine too. It doesn't mean I dislike you. It just means, okay, you had your opinion. That's why they're all called an opinion.
Right.
You had your opinion. We can't get along. Okay, well, maybe next time there's a controversy, we'll talk again. We may be able to. This time we didn't. Maybe next time we can. That doesn't mean I hate anybody.
Right.
That just means we didn't get along on this one.
Well, and just because we don't agree doesn't mean that we can't that we're not still have the same common goal. But having a conversation about it and turning it into a screaming match is a whole different deal.
I don't hoot and holler and I don't scream. If I have to raise my voice, conversation's over. Conversation's over. I wouldn't do that in my ex-wife.
Richard's got an interesting comment in the chat. He said, Shane Travis, Liberty, what are y'all's opinions about the truthers keep moving the goalpost back to keep hope up, but I feel hope is falling. That's part of what we need to really concentrate on. I tell people all the time, stop waiting on somebody to come save us. We got to fight for ourselves and let's stay involved. Yes, sir.
Here's the deal. Goalpost. First thing you need to do is go rip them out, throw some bitches away. And here's why. If another man is setting the goalpost, that means it can be moved. You know what you got to go by? If you can't find the research yourself, there is no such thing as a goalpost. So if you're going by somebody else's word, you've already lost, because I always go back to the Bible. If man follows man and man trips, who tripped man? Man did. Because there was only two in the game. If you can't do research, which everybody here apparently can because they know how to type and they know how to get on the internet, you've got to do your own research and go, all these goalposts I've been following, you're either right, you're wrong, or you're not doing everybody needs to do their own. And there's sometimes you have questions because you can't find them. Then you could go to other people, get different opinions. Hey, D-Dog, get different opinions and then go, okay, what resonates with me that makes sense? Don't go, oh, that sounds pretty, so I'm going to go with it, or that's what I want to hear. No, go with what makes sense. And make sense is a lot different than give me money or you know, roll over, everything's going to be hunky dory.
Right.
Mike, this is unlike I've ever heard you before.
I'm playing in the chat. Sorry.
Oh no, I just figured you're.
I don't disagree with you, Shane. And for those of you who want my I guess my thought on goalposts is I quit believing in those things a long time ago, man.
I think I have somebody that's been waiting on me a minute. I apologize. Go ahead, Mike. I'm listening.
I give no credit to it, no value to any kind of goalpost. Everybody kind of knows how I feel about stuff. I think our biggest challenge is to get involved at our local levels. I keep saying it, and I'll keep saying it. I pay no attention to intel drops or any of that other stuff. It really, I don't even really. I like to listen to it. I like to hear thoughts on it and some of the ideas. I'll definitely listen to that. But as far as really believing in any of it, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to really tie off on that one and say, "Yep, I'm good. I'm good on it."
When I move that bar over to bring the other one in,
Mm-hmm.
and it don't bring them in, then what do I do?
It's just do it one time. Your system has to catch up, Shane. It's a little slow.
Oh, okay. Well, I did it 3 times, so it may be just a few minutes, but we'll have one jump in. Yeah, I'm not going to have a good response out of this one. This may be the first one I boot. I'm probably going to get an ass eating on this one.
Yeah, sometimes Restream just won't let you do what it's supposed to be able to do.
Well, I'm going to tell you, everybody's got really good connection, so that's really shocking tonight.
Yeah.
Really shocking. I don't know who missed the thumbs up button when they come in, but boy, we're missing
Wasn't
a
me.
few of them.
Wasn't me.
We're missing a few thumbs up. There's 600 people in here. Guys, can we get them thumbs up, please? Please help an old hillbilly out a little bit. Give me a thumbs up so I can keep doing this show, or Mike's going to not let me do it no more.
Wow. Never. You got lots of people out there that enjoy your conversations, Shane. So just stay the course. You'll be fine. Heck, Facebook's blowing up right now with a bunch of thumbs up. So I'll join in with the thumbs up and the hearts on Facebook. But you've got 34 people over here on Facebook, Shane. You might want to say hello to all of them.
Cool.
Well, by God, I'm glad they're there, and I hope they keep showing up. By the end of the night, you're going to either love this Sunday night or you're going to hate it. So just thumbs it up. You can always thumbs it down later.
There you go.
Hey, you gotta thank the current administration for taking the thumbs down away. Remember that? How you would watch the live White House stuff and people would put comments in there that they disliked the current situation. They had more thumbs down than they had thumbs up. They had less people watching live than Sesame Street, so they got rid of all that stuff to make them look better.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I got a question for you. How do I put the things up on the bottom of the screen?
Okay, go to the right side where your chat is on the very far right hand side, and then just click on it. Just click on the comment you want.
Oh, and it'll just put it up on screen?
It'll pull it up as soon as you click on it.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then you
There's a
click
couple
on
in there
it
I really
again.
like. I've got like 3 women in there that really like me, and they keep telling me, so I really wanted to, show that. It's not every day you get more than one that like you at a time. So, When the dudes start sending you hard sell, I'm probably not going to put many of them up. I look like the wrong administration over here. Anyway, yeah, the chat's blazing by tonight. I don't know how you do this, Mike. I'm having art. It's not so bad when I can read it over here because I got a long way I can read it up. Over here, it's just short and sweet.
Well,
I've had her turned on for a while, and she still can't come in.
Okay. You might have to refresh the program. So in the
Yeah.
top left-hand corner, there's 2 arrows and then a little circle with an arrow on it. Click on that little circle and a window will pop up. Say, do you want to refresh? Say yes. You'll disappear for a minute, but the show goes on. It'll reboot, refresh your software so you can bring her in.
Well, they booted themselves, and they just popped back in. So I'm going to hit it one time. I'm going to leave it alone for a minute.
All right.
Yeah.
And I do apologize. I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm just an idiot. So anyway, Mr. Trainwreck himself, you had a show planned tonight, and I kind of screwed it up for you. So, woot woot in the house. Anyway, just saying, I seen it. Shane Trainwreck, yes, right. Anyway, so you had a show planned for tonight. So, what was you going to bring up in your show this evening?
Just about the community building,
Okay.
being involved. We've got a donation page on my website that'll for Miss Blue Moon. She's got breast cancer, lost her job because of the illness. She was a home health care worker. She's struggling. She takes herself to her own treatments and stuff, and she doesn't have any income. She's having a really tough time, and she's got several different ways that people could donate if they like to. I've actually met her, had a late dinner with her one day, and spent an hour or two at the casino. We had a great time. She's a good lady.
Yeah, she popped out again. Now, you said I need to do what, Mike? Go up to the left-hand side up there by Studio, where it says Studio Pro.
Right. Yeah, right above Studio, there's like an arrow to the left, arrow to the right, and then a circle arrow. Click on the circle arrow, a window will pop up, and it'll say refresh, push yes. Now, your screen is going to go blank for a minute while it's refreshing. Don't freak out. We'll still be here. We'll crash this plane for you while you're refreshing, and then you'll pop back up.
All right, hit something hard while I'm gone. She keeps popping in and out, but she's got good signal. So here we go.
All right. Well, while he's gone there, let's go ahead and crash this baby. You brought the gasoline. You brought the gasoline. I brought the flares. Uh-oh, he's back. Shh, go ahead.
I heard, yeah, the gasoline, the flares, and I tried to pull her back in. It still won't let her come in. She's popping out again.
Wow. I heard
it. In. Yeah, she's back in.
I hear her. Well, here's something I want to make comment on real quick, gentlemen. I wanted to make comment on something that my mom told me when she went to the store today. I know before I say this, I don't want anybody freaking out. I'm not saying that this is nationwide. Okay. This is only in my hometown, but I'd like to know how many other people out there are noticing the same thing. We all know we're having supply chain problems, at least on the West Coast. But then when we talked to Paul Davis and Tennessee Patriot, they said there is no supply chain problem as far as them hauling, groceries and stuff across country. And they said we've got plenty. But tonight, my mom was in our little grocery store grabbing some breadsticks for the lasagna I made. And the store, the night manager there told her that they're expecting delivery on Tuesday or Wednesday because tomorrow's a holiday. And she told my mom that if they don't get that delivery Tuesday or Wednesday, that our little store here in town could be in some pretty serious concern, not having things on the shelf. So just something that I thought I'd bring to your guys' attention. Maybe you want to talk about it, maybe you don't. I'd like to know if there's anybody else out there that's kind of seeing the same thing. I've been talking about it for quite a while. So, like I said, it's probably wise of you to maybe stock up a little bit, get a few extra things just in case. Just my thought.
Well, like I said, yes. What was it? Just a couple days ago, I told you about the grocery store flyer. T-bone, $5.99 a pound. $5.99 a pound. Now today I got or it ends today, but I got it right here. Hang on. They didn't have T-bone, but they have New York strip. I mean, and it's $7.99 a pound, which is about normal. So I haven't seen a lot of that go up. Now your fruits and veggies, some of that's went up a little bit.
Yeah.
Mike, you know, I think what's going on.
Huh.
You remember I couldn't get on yesterday unless my camera was on.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I bet she can't get on unless her camera's on.
Good call on that, Shane.
Travis turned his camera off and he just disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, she may have to turn her camera on for a minute. I need to answer a question in the chat real quick, Shane. From our sister Canadian Patriot. She was asking Miss Blue Moon if she had to type in our chat for us to see her comments. No, you don't. We see everybody's comment on the screen here. So everything runs through Shane's software and pops up on screen there, Canadian Patriot. As long as we're paying attention, we'll see it.
On day 16, if you don't want to turn your camera on, I bet money you can't come up. YouTube changed a bunch of crap the other day, and I can't get on here either with Mike unless my camera's. So I don't know what's going on now. StreamYard's different. You can, but Restream we've been having hell with.
Yeah, it's a Restream setting, Shane. You can go in and find where it puts the blocks in where the people are at.
That's on Mike. I'm not going to go jacking with settings. That's on Mike. You can do that tomorrow.
That sounds like a train wreck waiting to happen.
Well, but I actually had to go find that to get it to put the blocks up there and put your avatars instead of a blank screen.
Oh.
On day 16, you got, I'm not going to say a plastic bag or a paper bag. You got a pillowcase or something you can stick in front of your face, not put over your head. So you can turn your camera on, see if you'll pop on. If it works, then we'll know that's what's going on. Something you can put, if you don't want to be seen, something you can put in front of your face, even if it's your hand over the camera, to see if that works. Can you try that?
Please don't put.
She could turn her camera around and use the backside camera if she doesn't want to be on camera.
Please don't put a plastic sack over your head. Please.
Yeah, she just left. She's just, this guy's crazy. He want me to put a paper bag over my head. All right. Well, how long have we been on here? 30 minutes? Yeah, hell, we're just getting started.
So what do I have to do to get kicked off of here, Shane? Because I think you guys got this thing handled. I got to.
I don't know. I can do it right now. We don't even have to hear him anymore. I can just kick him off now. I mean, if he wants to go, hell, ain't no sense of explanation. Just get the hell out of here.
There you go. Get lippy with me, Buster.
Yeah. Go on about your damn self. You think I ought to drop the link, see what somebody wants to talk about, or you got something you want to share with us?
Actually, I have somebody over here that was asking for the link earlier, and I can email it to them. Let me find it. I got to go get it again.
All right.
You know how it is. You're gonna have a train
I can boot out owner of this station. I'll boot out anybody else who I don't like what they're saying. So it's all good. I mean, I don't need a long explanation. If you're going to go and you want to go, then shit, I'll just boot your ass out. I don't hold no. I'm not upset. Just go. What's that old song? Don't go away mad. Just go away.
Here we go.
No, send it out. It'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah. She was trying to get in the other night too, and I couldn't get it. I didn't have enough room.
Mike's thanking me now in the chat. He's like, "Thank you." He couldn't get away fast enough. Why don't you boot your damn self out? No, it's all good, Mike.
There we go. Okay.
Mary Kay, how are you, doll? I missed you. Yeah, we can't stop at 328, guys. We got to get a few more likes than that. There's a few more people in here than that.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, it is Sunday. It's not like we got anything else to like tonight.
Right. We're having ribeye talks over here on my chat. T2P said the ribeyes are best smoked. I like them reverse seared. I just like to smoke the whole thing and reverse sear it.
I'm going to take you get me a grill. It's about 300 degrees. I'm going to throw it on there for 4 minutes on one side. I'm going to flip it. And that's after I marinate for 3 days now.
Yeah.
But I'll throw it on a grill for 4 minutes, flip it over for 4 minutes. I pull it off, and it's time to eat.
Yeah, see, if I'm going to cook a ribeye, a regular ribeye, I cook it over 1,000 degrees.
Well, you want the quick sear on the outside and bake in the middle.
I like mine medium. I like mine medium rare.
You like yours medium.
Yeah.
I love warm pink metal, and that's the trick, is getting a warm pink metal where it's not the light brown, but it's not the gusher either. You know, our little guest that's hanging in, and she keeps popping in. Man, I've got her to where she can pop in anytime, but this thing just ain't letting her in. I don't know if something going. It's got to be the camera thing, doll. All right. While we're in a limbo here, waiting on your next guest, we do have a coin giveaway coming up on, I do believe it's January 31st. So anybody that's done a super chat of even $2, you have a chance to win a coin, a solid silver coin. It's 999.99% Buffalo round. It's going to be a pure silver coin. I do believe we've got 5 of them right now that we're going to give away. It may add to it, but we've got 5 of them as of right now. We're going to give away January 31st, but it's going to be real close to that. And, you know, if more people jump in and it doesn't seem fair to us, you know, we may add a couple coins. We want to make sure everybody's getting something out. I would not recommend at this point doing joining to become a member, because with YouTube, they're so damn crazy. They could just pull us down for no reason, and then you've got a membership that's useless. But the super chats, you know, it could be $2, and you may win a coin that's worth $30 to $38. I mean, I'm sure you spent more than that on a lottery ticket. You know, you go spend $2, and you got a piece of paper that you get to use in the bathroom, or they get to check and throw away for you. So, I mean, we do have that. So go ahead. Like I said, if y'all want to be part of it, great. You know, I don't care if it's $1. If you got $1 and you super chat $1, we're good. We're good.
That's right, Mrs. Dreamweaver. uh, the food discussion. Faith
We
can
got-
hear it. If she'll check her email, she should have the link I sent it. Faith,
Well,
it
we
should
got
be in
two
your
of them
email.
now.
I can't send the
Yeah.
I can't send the link from here.
Well, we got two on the same one. 16's on two of them. I want to cancel. Well, one of them's got red, so I'm going to cancel the red because she ain't got no service.
Oh,
I'm
no.
fixing to drop the link, and maybe they can come the link, which may
Yeah,
be
that'd
the
be
way.
great. See, I don't know why my
Yes,
avatar.
Camel Carl. Camel Carl, I love that. The more people I get to come on and help me out, yeah, the more I can goof off and read chat and do other things other than I want to tell you what, running channels more work than I like to do. I'm not saying it's more work than I can do, but it's more work than I like to do.
Right. They're asking me if I can bring them in on my side. No, we'll have to go through Liberties because we're paired with them.
Yeah, that's the only way I could figure it.
Now I could drop the link in the chat though. No, maybe I can't. Oh, I can in my chat.
You can in your chat. Yeah, you can drop it in yours. I'll drop it in mine.
Okay. Let's see if it works. Oh, look at me go. This is kind of cool to be able to do two streams at the same time.
Oh yeah. As long as we can get it figured out,
Yeah.
which I can. So
I won't leave you sitting in there by yourself. I apologize.
no, you're good.
I was having technical difficulties, so I didn't want everybody to see me wrestling here. My camera took off on me.
No, I can't get the damn thing to print mine.
Oh, you're having that luck too. I get to where I can't type my own chat too. I never will understand that.
There it is. All right. Just wasn't holding my mouth right, I guess. Anyway, I want to call in and give me a razz of shit or Travis or anybody else. Just get on in here, and if there's something y'all want to talk about, hell, I'm good to go.
Oh, I heard somebody.
But I do want to say hi to my mods, Mimi and Bella, and Mary Kay's not a mod, but I do love saying hi to her. Hi, Johnny and Tracy Q, Liz. There's my little Liz. She loves me in green spandex.
Oh, mercy.
I'm not seeing my little Bonnie in there. Bonnie usually gives me a razz of shit.
Yeah, I haven't seen her.
Wow. Okay. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to try 16 once. She won't come on. I'm going to leave her on, but I'm going to go to, well, we lost another one. It was Faith or somebody.
Okay, yeah, she's been one trying to get in for a couple days now.
Faith? Okay, let's go with Faith. My God, we got somebody to come in. Faith, how are you doing? Hello?
Oh,
We can see you. Can you hear us? Hi, Jody Terry. Hello, can you find your mic? We can still see you.
yep. Can't,
Hello.
got no sound. Is their microphone showing up on their picture on the left-hand side there, Shane? You should see a microphone, and then there'll be a meter that tells whether it's there or not. Sometimes if you use the wrong browser, it won't It won't.
Let me see. I'm not seeing your microphone. I only see one on you, Travis, to be honest with you.
Okay, if they don't have one, their permissions are off.
Yeah, they're gonna have to turn it on. So,
Yeah.
Face, you're gonna have to find your mic, man. Can you hear us? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear us. Okay.
Yeah. It's
And I
gotta be
heard you
something to
mention,
be
so now you can say something.
Hi.
Okay. There you go. There you go. Now we can hear. Go ahead. Don't be shy. We're not going to bite anybody.
How y'all doing?
Good. Did you have a question for us this evening?
No.
Okay. You just want to pop on and say hi and show your face?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I guess that's keeps the sentences short and keeps conversation short. Less arguing that way, that's for sure.
That's right.
So anyway, is there anything we can answer for you?
Whoops.
All right, I'm going to go to Hyundai 16 real quick. She ain't there. Then I'm going to go down to Corolla. Okay, we still can't get on 16, so let's go on down to Corolla. And I hope I'm saying that name right.
It's Carol.
Carol. Okay. Well, it's just spelled a little different. How are you this evening?
I'm fine. I have a question for you guys.
right.
I don't know if anyone else saw last night about 11:25. Trump tweeted out the tweet, but it was only up for like 10 minutes. I actually have a screenshot of it, and then it was taken down. And I was trying to figure out where I could email the screenshot to someone to show to find out if it's actually legit or not.
Okay, can you explain it, please?
It said, "My fellow Americans, the storm is upon us," but it wasn't tweeted from the regular Donald Trump account. It was tweeted from John Barron, and then the John Barron account.
You know, that's something.
And I'm not sure if it's legit or not, so that's why I was asking you guys.
Yeah, I hadn't seen anything like it, so I can't elaborate on that. I wouldn't get real excited. Until Mr. T says it, I wouldn't even give it a second thought. It's just somebody trying to get everybody riled up, sounds like.
Yeah, because it was only up there like 10 minutes, and then it was like gone. And I was like, that was odd. So, okay. Well, thank you guys. You're doing a great job. Appreciate everything y'all do.
All right, thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, we're going to Lori. Lori, how
Hi.
are you?
Good. I thought I would call. Nobody's calling you, so and I'm watching, and I'm not afraid to call in.
That a girl.
Well, the less people call, the less answers I have to give.
Oh. Well, how you guys doing?
Pretty good.
That's good. Getting some things done around the house. I have a bad back, so I got to rest it every now and then, but then, I just get back up and start doing some more stuff. Hi, John. He said hi to me. Oh, thank you, Lori. But, yeah, I just wanted to call in, and the last caller mentioned something about President Trump last night. What I noticed is he wasn't wearing a tie, which means to me, that's what he's saying. The storm is upon us.
You know what tells me? It's been a long damn day. He's tired and wants to go home, go to bed. That's his last stop on the way up.
No,
Only
you
thing
know,
I got out of that whole damn speech was, and everybody missed it because I've listened to everybody that's recorded the channel and played it, is when he's talking about McConnell. He never once said Mitch McConnell. He said bitch McConnell. And he says it flat out. You can hear it plain as day. That's the only thing I heard that made any sense. Other than the same thing he always says. He flat out says bitch McConnell.
Yeah, there was no holding back on that one. It was pretty clear.
I don't know how
so funny.
people caught it, but well worth.
Yeah,
Because
it
when he
was.
said that, everybody behind him's like, they're clapping. They never got, oh yeah, they didn't get all excited. And I'm thinking, he just said bitch McConnell in front of God and everybody. And I'm thinking, I was about to jump out of my seat right here where I'm at.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
that's the only thing
it's-
I got out of it last night.
I think honestly, that's the only time I've ever, and I think anybody here has ever seen him without a tie, except for when he was playing golf. I honestly,
There's
I
one
think
other time. There's one other time. He had no makeup on and no tie, and that's when he was supposedly in the hospital over there when he supposedly had the whooping cough.
Yeah,
He sat
I
there
just,
with
I
no tie.
wish, yeah, I kind of wish though that somebody would do his makeup for him. I mean, because people make fun of him, and I don't. I respect the man wholeheartedly, but they need to tone it down a little bit, and make it look more, more natural.
They're not going to now. You know why?
Why?
Orange man bad. Bad. He'll tell you bad publicity is as good as any good publicity.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the more rhetoric he can stir up, the better he's going to do.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. It's all right. So I watched the show last night. It was pretty good. Travis and everybody getting together. I thought that was really good.
That's really good. Now, Laura, I am going to say, since you showed up, no one wanted to call in, we have a room stacked full.
Now you do? See, I dragged them in.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, because they are stacked full.
I want to say a shout out to Michael Gale and also to True Patriot 1776. They're a couple of my favorite friends out there. And, everybody else.
They're both great people. Yes.
Yeah. Both of you have a great evening, and I'll continue watching you guys in the chat. All right. Have a good one.
Thank you for coming up. We'll
Thanks
see
for calling
you tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. On day 16, says she's tried on her phone. She's tried on her laptop. She'll try one more time.
All right. I'm bringing John in, and I've got Claudia. I'm going to bring John and Claudia in. I'm going to bring John in, but I'm going to let Claudia speak first. John's like me. He can be long-winded at times. So I'm going to Claudia first.
Hey,
Hello,
Claudia,
Claudia.
how are you,
hi
girl?
Shane, can you
I can hear you just
good.
great.
This is the first. Oh, good. I'm glad you can. It's the first time I've ever called in. I enjoy watching you. I have a question
Thank you.
for you.
Okay.
I have some
Check it out.
silver coins from
Mhm.
Miles Franklin.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's safe just to keep them in the container that they sent it to me. It's like a plastic cup, or if I'm to do something else with them.
No, if they come in that little plastic container with the lid that was taped shut,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Right.
That's exactly what you want to keep them in. That's exactly what
I
you want
got
to keep them.
the-
You're good.
Okay. I got some of the Australian kangaroos, and I wasn't sure. That's what the guy recommended for me. I kind of wanted to get American Eagles, but he said he felt they were overly priced. I didn't talk to
Yeah,
Andy.
you're gonna-
I talked to somebody else that works.
You're going to pay $12 on top of spot price for your Americans. If you don't have to buy American, don't, because here's the deal.
Right.
$9.99 silver. I don't care where it comes from. I want the cheapest price on top of the spot I can get. I don't care if it's turning black and blue. I want it. I want the dirty rounds because a lot of people won't take it. I will take it because it's still 999.99 silver, no matter what it looks like.
Right. That's what
If
he.
if you're buying it for the nostalgic American style, you're wasting your money and you're throwing away 10, 12 bucks. Now you have to get $40 an ounce out of it to even break even instead of 30 or 28.
Right. Right. That's exactly what he said. And I agreed with that. I understand that. I'm concerned because I feel like the bad guys in America are trying up all the silver now. So I feel each one of us should buy some of it just to keep it away from the bad guys.
If every American would buy 1 ounce of silver a month, 1 ounce per month, the big dogs, they're going to hurt real bad within just a short period of time because that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting on everybody to quit buying silver so they can buy it for nothing. And then the silver's going to shoot through the roof and look who's on top again. So with that
Wow.
being said, I need to move to John. Okay. I got to give him some fair time and I still got day 16 waiting on me. So
Hey, thanks so much for my shame. Bye-bye.
thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. Call in anytime.
Spot on advice there, Shane. If you're stacking silver, get the cheapest ounce you can get.
An ounce of silver is an ounce of silver is an ounce of silver. I don't care what they call it.
Yeah. The only reason I called in, I wanted to address Carol's question about the tweet that came out like at 10:58 last night. And yeah, it had the words, but that's a fake account.
Yeah.
I guess that guy has sent a couple of different tweets and giving the appearance that it was Mr. T. Nowhere near it, guys. It's a scam. It's a guy just perpetrating hopium, and freaking people out, because everybody was listening last night to hear those words. Well, didn't happen. And all I can say is keep the faith. It was a good speech. I liked it. I guess Jeff B broke it down as good as anybody that I listened to and heard. My same thoughts, what we did here was solid. So just, keep the faith, beat and buy silver.
I want to tell you the speech last night. Like I said, I got everything I need to out of it. He called him Bitch McConnell. I heard a few little other things, but other than that,
Well, when he labeled,
there's another channel that says certain things that no one can come out and say exactly what it is because it started a war.
yeah.
So there's certain people have to say certain things so they don't start a war. And that might have been part of it last night if you think without using both sides of your mouth. If you think logically. So
well,
yes,
there was some things that he didn't say. He's learned from us in this truth movement, the true media, that he needs to move off his conversation about taking any vacations. He didn't bring that up. He said it's a choice, your choice. Do what you got to do. He mentioned therapeutics. Good deal. That's what we've been saying. So he's fallen in line. So he's a guy that does listen to, most likely to us, the people that
Well,
are
he
doing the
has
real
to, because
news.
if he don't listen to us, he ain't got a chance.
No,
We're
sir,
his
you're
voter
right.
base.
Yeah, I believe that 100%. And then he
Here's the
did
deal.
say that
If he
Biden
don't-
wasn't real.
If he don't listen to us, he's going to deal with me. And I don't mean personally. I just mean people like me. We're the ones going to be gunning for his job.
Yeah,
People like me and you and Travis and people that think logically.
yeah. Well, and
Not
I
people
was
that get
encouraged
news
by
off
that.
CNN or CNBC or MSNBC or China News Network or China this, China that. No one's going to listen to that because that's what Mr. Joe listens to, and that's where he gets his advice from, is the China News Network.
Yeah. And I don't think not a single media outlet covered it for anything, So they've moved on. That then that's kind of telling, a guy that's he didn't come out and announce he was going to run, but certainly he certainly brought it up. Huh? All right, guys, I'm gonna drop out of here and let some talkers talk.
All right, well, we got. Hey, John, you know what? Matter of fact, hang around a second.
All right.
I've got somebody sitting right next to you that you might enjoy hearing.
All right.
This person is where I declare stupid smart. And I think you need to hear this. Heads on.
All right.
So I'm going to bring her on. I'm going to let her speak. And
she's brilliant.
And she's what?
She's brilliant.
Excellent.
From what I heard so far, I think you're probably on the right track. There's a few things I'd love to have a discussion with her about, but she's going to make me look stupid, so I don't want to do it on air. So anyway, on the 16, we have talked once before. I said hi, and then I jumped off camera. So anyway, speak, girl.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Good. I'm really sorry about the technical stuff. I don't know. Worked fine for the big show last night, fortunately, but I apologize for taking up so much time on your show with that stuff. But
no, I already told Travis earlier before we even started this. One day I want to sit down with you, me, Travis, and you, Mike, and have one of their discussions with you.
Well, when you were talking about somebody brilliant, I was trying to figure out who you were talking about. I figured you said you had a full house, so I didn't know who you were talking about. It could be me.
I have a full house now. I've got you, I got John, I got Travis. But I got a full house of smart people. I did not include myself in there for a reason.
Well, it's a community of really smart people. Let's put it that way. So, so I don't know. We're all brilliant. We all, that's the thing. Listening to these shows, over the past year and a half, I've watched more YouTube than I had in 50 years. Okay. Well, they didn't have YouTube way back, but so it amazes me. Like some of the people in the chat too, I've gotten to know, and the industries they know about and their backgrounds. It's fascinating. So in a way, like all that isolation was not good, but in a way it also kind of expanded what we all know, because we got to interact, even though it's virtual, with people who we wouldn't have otherwise. So it's been an interesting year, and I've learned a lot. I know that. I learn a lot of stuff on Travis's show. Not all of it's good, because I get roasted on there sometimes, but that's all in good fun. So I can take it.
Well, I apologize now, because I will probably roast you a little bit, if it's in fun, never in harm.
No, well, see, that's the thing we always talk about PC, right? And like how it has such a chilling effect on people speaking, and how people are so touchy. And I have 3 daughters who, I guess, to me, fortunately or unfortunately, they're on a different page than me, politically, okay, or in just sort of ideology, but they're young and they're finding themselves. And I know a lot of people who were very liberal in their younger days, and then as they matured and had to pay taxes and things like that, suddenly everybody becomes conservative. So, I thought the topic last night, well, initially it was going to be about community building, which is something, I have a huge interest in. Obviously, we all do. I mean, that's what the LWN, all the shows that have come out of that. You have Ladies Night. I think Travis, has a collaboration there. So it is about community building, even though it's YouTube, but you guys are meeting in person. And so it's really expanding. So I invited my daughters to listen to the show last night. And it's kind of a leap because, of course, anything that I'm talking about is automatically like they're not interested. But they did it for me to show support. And, I don't know. They had, I think it was a great show in a lot of ways. It brought a lot of viewers and a lot of people together. I think we still have work to do as far as unity. A lot of work.
Focus.
Yeah. I mean,
We need
it's a
to
work in progress.
to the focus, my opinion.
The problem is that I see, that I've been seeing, is everybody's trying to be the top dog of the YouTube society instead of being, we're all part of the society together. We still got to go out. We still got to go to the grocery store together. We still got to mow the yards together. We still got to sweep the streets together. We still got to go buy gas together. There is no top dog. We're all the same. We all just got different opinions. We got to get along. And if you're so busy beating up somebody else, you forget that you're part of the community. And before you know it, you're not part of the community no more. Now you're part of the opposition because you're too busy beating up everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, Shane, if you were my neighbor, okay, I
It
mean,
may not have made sense.
I wouldn't wish living in Connecticut on anyone. So let's just, for this hypothetical, imagine I live in Oklahoma because that's a much friendlier place, okay? And we were
I wish you
neighbors.
did.
I wish I did. Well, it's on my short list. As of tomorrow, Travis can tell you, I have 499 days until I can move. So I'm on the hunt for the right place to go. I'm definitely going to the Midwest where I'm from, but Oklahoma is on the short list and a few other states. But
Where are you originally from?
what's that?
Where are you originally from?
I'm from Illinois. So I grew up north of Chicago. And everybody talks about Chicago, and rightfully so. It's got a lot of problems, but most of Illinois, this is such a common problem. And a lot of you living in blue states or in other places, I mean, even red states have this problem. Most of the state is nice and kind of traditional and just normal people, but the hardcore leftism is kind of focused in a big city. And of course, for elections, we know how that works out, right? It sways how the state goes. So I grew up north of Chicago, almost in Wisconsin, actually 15 minutes, and I can be over in Kenosha or whatever. So that's where I'm from originally. So not just saying you're from Illinois does not mean you're like, you espouse all the values coming out of, the city of Chicago.
I was born in Illinois.
Oh, where?
We won't hold it against you.
Yeah, I know. Champlain, which actually my mother lived in Urbana, which now Urbana and Champlain is all one city, but I was born in
U of I is down there.
Yeah, I think what is that, southeast corner?
Yeah, I used to, when I was, this is going way back. This is kind of like vintage times. When I was in grade school, I went for music camp at the University of Illinois in Champaign, Urbana. So I do know the area. I haven't been there in a long time, but I have friends who live in that southern part of Illinois, and it, as you know, it's a completely different world down there.
A
Illinois is
lot
like
of
two different states.
constitutionalists come out of Champlain. They used to have a hell of a constitutional college there, and I think they closed it down or quit teaching the Constitution.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so like I said, you know, when you read the press, you know, it's kind of bad news as far as Illinois. And yeah, the taxes are bad and it has a lot of blue state problems. But in terms of the people, Chicago is kind of its own unique thing. And then there's like the rest of Illinois. So that's where I'm from, like you. So I'm in Connecticut now, but I'm a transplant here, just temporary. So
Connecticut. Boy, I'm sorry.
You know, that you know, when you mention Illinois, the first thing that comes to mind for conservatives is Chicago. If you mention my home state right here, not home state, but where I live now in Louisiana, the first thing that comes to mind for folks is New Orleans. You know, that defines Louisiana. But if you go back and study the shift to the Democrat social justice ideology and how that was framed, and after 1965, how they took those urban areas and they captured them. And it was all by design because they knew that they could not win elections. If you go back, Lyndon Johnson was a pretty smart politician. He was really a good politician. So he had a clear understanding that Democrats could not get elected to national offices because they didn't have strongholds in the southern states. They didn't have strongholds in a large portion of the Midwest. They knew that where their huge base was the East Coast. So all that's been done. You know, when earlier you said that we need to unite, and I'll offer this because we don't say it often enough to each other. This movement that is YouTube, sharing truth, is seen and because people are in deep search, because Mr. T came out and turned on the switch for all of America. Fake news, fake news, fake news. And he hammered that point so that we would wake up. So we found resources on our own. And we're all united by one, you know, we're Americans. We have great concern for the direction of this nation because we love our nation. We love our God. We have core beliefs and principles that are washed away by the progressive ideology. We're made and painted as deplorables. They paint us in all manner, you know, racist. They attempt to define us to where on these platforms now we get to let the whole world say, come on in, tell us what you think. Share your thoughts with us. Look at our ideology and understand what we're trying to say. We love our country. We want our country restored. You know, so we just need to focus on that when anybody comes outside of that. And we have to also know, not everybody that's tuning in has been in this movement for the entire year. They're just coming on board. Go ahead, Shane.
Mike, if you're out there listening, you want to jump on here a second? I need to step away for half a second. I need you to not.
Oh, you threw him off. Now you're asking him to come back.
Well, and the gentleman I'm so old. I don't have my reading glasses on, and the gentleman who just spoke, I don't know. I can't see your name.
Johnny.
That's John.
John
Estabrook. He writes his own books. He has his own channel. He is highly intelligent.
John, we could write a book together. I'm actually writing a book, but on a totally different topic. But what you just said, I mean, there are like 5 or 6 really important points you just made. I don't even know where to start. With the fake news, I mean, so much of Trump's message, of course, I'm, 100% on board with. But one of the biggest, I think, favors or gifts or important things that he did was use that term, fake news. It has taken a long time and it's still in process, but especially after the past 2 years, and we see now, COVID narrative, how it was built up and now it's crumbling. That's a very important lesson for many people. And when you talk about, winning elections or whatever, you always have to, people on our side, we know how we're going to vote. The question is, how do you get people in the middle or people who maybe aren't paying attention to vote our way, and waking them up to how fake, fake news really is one very important way to do it. And he was the master at that. You talked about the big cities and the other thing, with election integrity, Chicago, you mentioned, the politics of the big cities and leveraging those big cities to sway elections. Chicago is prime example. Chicago politics. I mean, you could write a book on that. Many people have. And, what are some of the products of that system in that whole daily democratic machine? Number 44, how did that work out for everybody? My grandparents were both my grandfathers owned businesses in Chicago, one on the south side, one on the north side. My grandfather, one grandfather owned a bar on the south side near Comiskey Park, where the White Sox play, and another was owned back in the day. This was a big thing, but he had a Standard Oil franchise, and he was the only gas station in town. Chicago is a different place now. It's not the Chicago that my mother grew up in. And again, as you said, it's been engineered that way, and now people, my relatives, when I go to visit, I have a daughter who goes to college in Chicago. That's the only reason I go in. Otherwise, there's a lot of, it's great. It has the world's best pizza, by the way. And I'm not talking about deep dish, but we don't have to get into the pizza wars, because that's a really controversial topic. The city is failing, and you see that. I mean, I live very close to New York. I mean, within commuting distance of New York City, you have the same thing. So these cities have been leveraged to, consolidate political power, and after decades of democratic rule, these cities are literally falling apart and they're in utter chaos. So John and I could research and write a great book about that.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Well, it's a sad design, and the one thing every American needs to be very clear, that anytime the corrupt political system installs any social program and they peddle it as taking care of the people. We're going to take care of the people. We care so much about your children's education. We care so much about your health. And they created all these programs, and we had a reality that we all knew from the very outstart, that anything that government touches and it enters into. And we had the most perfect example is the United States Postal Service, and then our railways, and we still fund that. But they never go back and say, this was a failure. Medicaid, Medicare, failure. What did we do? They expanded it. So,
and they keep throwing more money at Amtrak and other things. I mean,
why are we putting more and more money into a failed public education system that they corrupted and they broke, so that then they could implement and put in these everything we see with CRT was on their plate and on their book, and they have to wait until they have this Democrat control executive branch and congressional branch. And trust me, if they can federalize anything, that's when they do it. And that's always been the case. How did we get the Affordable Care Act, and just how affordable was that? Who was it affordable to? Because it wasn't to me. I thought it was going to bankrupt me.
I lost my health care after the Affordable Care Act came. It
Go
was
ahead,
just too
Travis.
expensive.
A lot
So-
of people did lose it. A lot of people did.
Yeah.
And now, well, and their end game obviously is to get control of what? Elections? That's
No,
what the
control
HR
of you, sweetheart. They are in control, and they seek control of humanity. If you look at the world, and we're playing in the world right now. This everything that we're seeing is playing out on the world stage. And trust me, if their ideology and the communists could pull this off, they would capture the entire planet. And it's always been about control. What do you think forcing a child to wear a diaper into a classroom? That's a control mechanism, and they wanted to see if they could do it. But then when mom and daddy pushed back, then we were labeled domestic terrorists.
Yes.
And now we have a DOJ, and we have a president that comes out and openly declares us to be domestic terrorists when that's the furthest thing from the truth.
Yeah, amen.
Oh, there's Mike. I didn't see him pop in there. Sorry.
He just
We
popped
kept
in
talking.
there.
We were
It's
just, we
it's all
hijacked
good.
your entire show. Sorry.
I seriously think that Shane invited me back up just so he could kick me out again. That's what
I'm not actually sure why Shane. I'm not sure why I got a shout
Hey,
out.
brother,
I have
when I
no
watched
idea.
that little, I was in the background and I watched that happen, and I believe you're right, Mike. I think he really got a thrill out of that.
He'll do it again. Just watch.
You don't know how right you are, John.
I was also.
You don't know how right
The
you
sad
are.
thing is I was eating buttered pecan caramel ice cream when he said, "Hey, can you help me out
Oh.
for a minute?" And I'm like, "Come on, man, kick me out of here."
I can do one better. I
I
was
didn't even want
actually.
to hear that. I didn't
I
even
was,
want to hear
I
that.
was actually settled in for the night. I was going to bed, and I hear my screen name called out on the show, and I'm just like, "You got to be kidding me!" So, so I don't. So I'm even, I appreciate it. I was actually, when I was having technical trouble, I texted Travis and I said, "Please send me Shane's email and say, well, thanks for the invite, but sorry I couldn't make it." So I was just about ready to email you, and it all came together. So
No
thank you.
Libert Sherbert. No Libert Sherbert. No
Oh.
Libert
Well,
Sherbert.
Hey, that's a hey,
On day 16,
Mike,
here you
that's
go. If you've got my
Libert
email, you're more than welcome to email me anytime. John, do me a favor. Drop your site in the private chat and go ahead and drop
Okay.
it in the public also. That
All right.
way, day 16 has an ability to get a hold of you eventually if she wants to,
Sure.
because I think that'd be really good. Well, I've got the floor because I'm going to have to kick everybody off if I want to speak, apparently. Well, everybody,
oh, he's got the master mute button.
right. Well, I've got everybody's attention. And Travis, the poor guy, I invited him on. This guy gets to speak less than me. I'm like, damn, Travis, should we just go to your channel and hang out together and let these guys have it or what?
Yeah,
Well, anyway.
he's lost complete control over there. Unfortunately, I'm
Well,
blamed for it, but it's not
That's
just
why
my
everybody
fault.
loves his channel, because everybody can go over and say what they want. I've got a plug I got to put in. If the mods would do me a favor and in the chat drop Miles Franklin, it's where I buy my silver. Do we make anything off of it? I haven't seen anything yet. But I want to tell you what, he has the most competitive prices out there, and he'll beat anybody's price out there that he can. He's been doing this for 31 years. He is a very good friend of mine. I brought him over here to Mike because this guy is just a wonderful guy to talk to. And he's not only about silver and gold. He's got a mind more than that. He thinks a lot like us. We can bring him in on any, he's like Snafu, Scott. He can talk about anything, any depth. He can go in any rabbit hole pretty much. And he's very sharp. He don't go all crooked and sideways on you, but he is very sharp on it. and he's very intelligent to talk to. So I wanted to put that plug out, just not for this, but for him. He is stupid smart. If you just want somebody to talk to, I want to tell you what, be careful with questions you ask, because you're going to be there a while, because he's going to give you the history from day one, which may be 6,000 years ago. He is highly intelligent, unlike me and Mike. I tell you on that one, Mike.
I tried 4 times, but I finally got it right. I didn't mean to drop my link that many times.
I think I messed it up. You guys were having a great conversation before I hopped back in here. So, Shane, can you kick me out so I can eat ice cream?
Okay, good luck.
Well, yeah, and I just need you to step in because I couldn't get these guys to shut up a second so I could go pee. There was somebody that was correct in the chat. Yes, just because you're a host or a podcast runner or a show runner does not mean you're immune to have to go pee. It does happen. I do not sit here with a catheter, or will I?
As long as you don't take the camera in there, I think it's all good.
Next time I'm going to do a Leslie Nielsen. I'm going to have an earbud in. I'm going to let out a big old pocket of air about halfway through and then finish. That's what made that show, wasn't it?
You're just doing it for the clicks. You're
Good
just
night,
doing
y'all.
it for the views.
All right, brother.
All right,
Hey, I'm
Mike.
going to drop out too, brother Shane. It was a great conversation. My phone battery's going dead.
All right, John. Thank you. I appreciate you very much, sir.
Good to see y'all. Travis, take care, brother.
All right,
you too.
thank you. What I do, and I get in that situation, Shane, is if the conversation just keeps going, I just turn my stuff off and walk away and come back. They'll handle it.
I've
Boy,
literally
here's the
seen them do it.
Here's the thing is I used to do that all the time. And when I first got with Mike, he kind of got upset with me, kind of scolded me a little bit like a young pup. And I want to have a co-host, you know. I just can't be sitting there talking to myself. And I got the hint. He wants to be talking to somebody because I know how it feels. That's why I always have a guest, because I ain't talking to the screen by myself very long. I'll shut the son of a bitch off and go to bed. So as long as I have something to bounce somebody off of, I'm okay. Nikki, I still see you, girl. You're more than welcome to jump up here and visit with me. I'll drop the link. Give me a second. But anyway, yeah, I
Well,
I
I'm
wanted
honored
Mike
to be
step
invited
up.
on the show.
Oh, I love you invading on this show. I love it. It's
She
great.
brings a whole new perspective to the world.
Well, I haven't heard a voice like that since I was making them 900 calls, so it's just great to listen to.
Well, it's nice to hear you. It's nice. I appreciate the compliment because it is the subject of a lot of controversy. So
You need to check into that. You could make a lot of money. I think it's like $3.95 a minute just to talk to people.
somebody
one
said,
of
well,
them
you should be doing voiceovers. That's a career I had never ever thought of, but I don't know. I would take a nickname like Libert Sherbert any day compared to my nicknames on there. And all about my voice. It's crazy. It's
I'm
really
going to tell you
crazy.
what, it doesn't matter what you do. It's not going to be any better than Captain Gasbag.
Oh no, I outdid you last night. Though I mean, I don't know how many people watched the show last night.
I don't know. We're up to, between his channel and ours, I think we're up to 30,000.
So 30,000 people know my nickname, and it's not a nice one.
Yeah, I
What was
wasn't
that?
real pleased about
It was
that.
that dildo thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm not real pleased about that.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't need to talk about it. I'm just saying, Mike is talking about his nickname. I got you all beat. Trust me. I have, I got pretty thick skin.
Yeah, and here's a funny thing. Someone calls me a name. I don't care. I add to it. They call me something like they called you. I'd say, good. Battery's not included.
Well, the only
I
thing
just
about,
add to this shit. I don't care what people call me. I don't get upset.
my kids were new listeners, and I didn't appreciate
Well, that
them
I
tuning in
understand.
and hearing that. They didn't appreciate it either.
I bet
Because
not.
they were expecting me to be talking about community building. They laugh because, you know, I'm not an Obama fan, but the joke, my other nickname off screen. See, I shouldn't even reveal this because it's another nickname, but they call me the community organizer here. So that's what they thought I was going to be talking about. And then they heard that, and it was a little, you know, that's one of those moments where it's like, you know, that really didn't do much for unity. So those are the things I think we all need to be careful about. And you were saying earlier about being on YouTube and stuff. I think, and I never got to finish this, but you know, if you and I lived next door to each other in Oklahoma, I'd bring you a casserole if you were sick, or chicken soup, and you'd probably help me mow my lawn if I needed help, or, you know, and we would interact that way. But social media and YouTube and all these platforms, people say and they do things that they would never dream of doing if they knew you in person, if they knew you personally.
Absolutely.
So I think, you know, when Red was on the show and we were talking, it's just it's a difference of focus. I mean, he is focused on, you know, he puts it, building an army of digital warriors. That's one way to put it. You guys have your platforms and your shows, and you get information out. Travis has his show, and he's interested in you know, charitable stuff, which is actually how I first, you know, connected with him. I contacted him about that. I'm more of a, you know, you can see, like, I don't like to be on camera. There's privacy issues, but it's also, you know, there's a lot of reasons why women especially are a little bit, you know, hesitant, because the platforms, there are two things. They're very intimate, you know, so we have conversations, people talk about things, people get to know each other, but they're also very impersonal. And so you got that struggle always going on and kind of managing it. I don't know how you guys, Mike, I don't know how Mike does it, like dealing with all the drama and the trolling. It gets to be
he doesn't deal with it well. Let me say this. I have turned Free Rebels on. He should be here, but his camera's off. If you don't want to be seen, Free Rebel, cover your camera, turn it on, you'll pop right in. We don't know what's going on. Ever since YouTube changed their stuff, there you go. As soon as you turn it on, you come in. Now, I
don't care if they see me.
All right. But anyway, I'm going to let on day 16 finish her little thing, and then you can chime in. I will be here. I'm going to turn my camera off just 2 seconds.
Well, all I would just say, you know, we were kind of doing a debrief on the show last night, which I thought was a big success in some ways. But as you see, like, it's always a risk when you do something live. You know, like, you don't know how the conversation's going to go or what might happen. And I think there were moments in that live stream where you also, amidst all this community building, which I think, especially when the night started off, you also see, like, some of the limitations of the medium, let's just put it that way, or some of the issues that we still have a lot of work to do on, if you know what I'm saying. So it was I think it was instructive in different ways.
All right, Free Rebel, how are you doing this evening?
Not too bad. Getting over being sick for a couple weeks. Finally getting over that. Glad. I listened to the after show from Trump's speech last night, and I didn't get a chance to get on to say something. You know, I understand everybody's opinion. I always tout that. But one thing I heard, and I was going to try and bring it up a couple days ago, but I didn't get a chance to get on. I was, you know, just going through YouTube, checking out live streams, and I came across this YouTuber, and he said something that I'd been thinking about the whole time since Trump didn't win the re-election, is that when he first went in, I think he was expecting all the Republicans in office just to back him up, and it didn't happen. And it kind of torqued his bolts a little bit. And so this time, if you looked at what he said last night, is in 2022, this year, he's wanting to set everything up so that when he does come back, he's got all the wild cards in his back pocket. And, to me, that's a smart move if you want to get stuff done.
Here's a funny thing a lot of people don't know. He used to be, back in Kennedy Sr., he was Democrat leaning. After that, he kind of went independent. He was independent. He went to run independent when he became president, and they said, you will never get it being independent. You need to become Republican if you don't like the Democrats. So he changed over Republican. A lot of people don't realize that, but he was independent.
Yeah.
And he should have stayed independent because then he didn't have to deal with either side. But here's the deal. You don't get the endorsements. You don't get the, you get a lot of votes when you're Republican or Democrat. If I run for anything, it's going to be independent because I am an independent thinker. I may be wrong. I may be right. It don't make a shit. I ain't going to either side.
Yeah. But
I may disagree with either one of them.
Yeah, because I know there were some other channels talking about, look for the code. I mean, granted, he gave us some hints. That's what I got from what he's saying is like, yeah, I'm going to run again in 2024, but 2022 is going to be what's going to set it up. Because what this other gentleman said that, if 2022 goes the way he wants it to, and senators and all Congress people, mayors, governors, sheriffs, all up and down the spectrum, if the tide turns red, that's more in his favor to where he can come back in office and get more done. But if it doesn't happen, this guy said, if it doesn't happen, he's not going to run because why waste his time coming back to fight for a country where he doesn't have the support.
Right. Well, and there's so much time wasted during.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're the host. You have to. You can preempt any guest. So.
Yeah, and that's it. It's one of those deals that if you can't get things leaning your way and they're not going to go your way, why in the hell would you want to? Because it's just going to be another 4 years of living hell.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no sense in it.
Well, think about how much time was wasted his first term with the the collusion hoax.
He needs to pull a Democrat and go, I want to reclaim my time and reclaim all 4 years because all 4 years, can you imagine what he could have got done without all that?
Yeah, and he cut a lot of regulation. He did a lot of great stuff. But imagine if we didn't have all that distraction. So I do think, you're right. It's he's building. He obviously with all these endorsements and things, you can see that. I don't want to talk about the plan, meaning the plan everybody's buzzing about. And I as far as the midterms and possibly looking to 2024, you're right. He's building a team, and these endorsements are key. And he's looking at every single state, every single race, and that's the way to do it. Because the Democrats, that's how they win. They're organized, and so he's giving some structure. Because I know being involved in politics locally here, our GOP is a hot mess, and there's infighting, and they can't get together. And I don't know if this state can be saved even in 2022, even as bad as my senators are. But he's got that strong hand, and he's got his even though he's out of office, he's got his own bully pulpit. He issues these press releases, and he makes his endorsements, and those endorsements are very powerful. So, but it's up to us to get these people elected. He can make the endorsements. We got to get on the ground and support them and make sure that they get over the finish line. That's our part, I think, in all of this.
Yeah. Well, one question though, following the logic of what I just said, if Trump doesn't get the people in the offices this year that he wants, and he chooses not to run, because he said, he did not say I'm running in 2024. He did it all in third party. We are going to do this. We're going to run this. We're going to do this, which is fine because that's typical for him. But the thing is, let's say he doesn't get all the people into the various offices that he wants, and he doesn't run. Who does he back for the Republican nominee?
John Jr., in my opinion.
Does Don Jr. have enough clout to pull it off?
I think he possibly. I wouldn't go through it again if I was him.
Yeah, I see. I agree with that.
Sure. If I was Mr. T, here's what I would do. I wouldn't run again. Now, I wouldn't put one of my sons or daughters in their direct family. If it was me, I'd push for Laura Trump. Here's why. It's not because you're trying to distance in-laws, but yet that old gal's sharp. She's smart. She's got charisma, and she knows how to talk to people. She's very laid back. She don't get excited, and that's what I want to see, is somebody that doesn't get excited, that'll step back no matter what the case is. You don't jump up and down. You sit back and go, okay, wait a minute. You absorb it for a minute. You think about it. You let it process. You use your own discernment, and then you come back at it again. I think that would be it. Now, the other one, other than that, if you used to get plumb out of the Trump realm, but yet somebody that would, there's only going to be one other person that I would think that could probably handle the criticism that he did, and that's going to be Ron DeSantis.
I agree.
Other than that, that's the only two that's going to be, in my eyes, worth. There's three people. T, Laura Trump, which is a Marianne, or Ron DeSantis. Them three is about all we have to hope like hell is in the running.
I kind of hope Ron DeSantis stays as governor. Florida, he's come a long way with Florida, but Florida needs a lot more work.
But all he has to do is put somebody in there that's just like him. Just like, Ron DeSantis stepped up. He took the bull by the horns, and he's starting to get better. Now, if he gets moved on up to presidency, he puts somebody in the same position he was. Somebody's ready to take this bull by the horns and keep doing the same thing he was doing. And that's how it works. You don't have to go full spectrum, full blown. You don't have to go to one extreme to the other. You can just keep it within the same line, keep it building. Before you know it, becomes habit. Once it's habit, that's where it stays.
Yeah.
If you listen to the things that Ron, sorry.
What, Travis?
No, I can't. The delay is so bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I think he's making some. I think he's made some very strong power plays, signaling he will run.
If he goes against Trump, he'll lose. If Trump backs him, there's no one that can beat him. Period.
I agree.
You know who I'd like to see run for president?
Unless it's another federation.
Shane?
What's that?
You know who I'd love to see run for president in 2024? Trey Gowdy.
I'm going to tell you, Trey Gowdy's good. I don't see him doing it or even want to do it.
I tell you what, though, that bulldog.
Trey Gowdy, you put him in the running for a spot in the Supreme Court. Now you're talking a different story, because that's where his partay is. And when I say partay, I don't mean party.
Yeah.
He's in the part where he likes to prosecute and make decisions, withstanding. And I don't even know if he'd take SCOTUS. I think he would take
AG.
He would probably take a federal level where he could actually make a decision and stick. because the Supreme Court of the United States has never once done anything other than make a decision. They cannot make laws. They cannot change laws. They can't change rulings. They can't do nothing. They can make a decision or a strong recommendation that goes back down, and they have to either, they're the ones that are supposed to read the Constitution and go, well, this isn't constitutional. So they send it back down. Here's what you need to look at, and they need to make the final decision. The Supreme Court of the United States is not as powerful as what people think. Sorry.
I think Trey Gowdy, just in terms of his temperament and his kind of his legal practice, he would be, you know, more suited to like an AG spot or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, Supreme Court, you know, those are real kind of bookish kind of, you know, come out of, I don't know, not necessarily academia, but it's a whole different legal mindset. And he's more like active and pit bull. That's an AG kind of position to me.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And it is.
And as far as DeSantis goes, if you listen to, if you listen closely to what DeSantis is trying to do policy-wise in his state, and what he, you know, when he describes it and the language he uses, you know, it's very MAGA-like. And so I tend to agree with Travis. I almost don't think, I think with everything that's gone on, Trump really doesn't need to be in there in 2024 if he steers the party and gets the right people elected. The right, not just Republicans, but the right kind of Republicans in 2022, and they get a mandate, not mandate like, you know, mask order mandate, but a mandate. And they do the things that the American people are asking for. You don't need Trump in 2024. DeSantis would be great.
Yeah. Well, you know, Trump even said that in his speech last night. Is like, you know, it's like, if you're going to vote in Republicans, make sure you vote it. You know, I'm paraphrasing. He was like, do your homework and vote in the right ones, not the rhinos.
Right. Well, and that's what he, you know, and he, I think in his press releases, he's been saying like, you know, another one down or whatever. And from what I understand, he's, you know, these are rhinos who are deciding not to run in 2022. So if you get that problem cleaned up, you can have, if you do have a red wave, which everyone's expecting, and if we all do our part and vote in numbers and overwhelm the system, like he said, you're going to be able to actually get things done for you know, the first time in a long time with a Republican majority. And then, you know, and then again, that's going to set the stage for a Republican winning the White House. I mean, he talked about this in his rally. He's like, we're going to win back the House, we're going to win back the Senate, and then we're going to take the White House back. It doesn't necessarily need to be him if you have a very strong foundation in 2022. And like you said, the right people who are not part of the uniparty, you know, playing ball with, you know, with the, you know, a Republican who votes and acts no different than a Democrat isn't what we need. That's not helpful. So
wait, I want to tell you something. Here's a problem with all of Congress and all of Washington, D.C. right here. Bottom line, point blank. Everybody thinks if you're a Democrat, you vote Democrat. If you're a Republican, you vote Republican. Here's the deal. On day 16, Travis,
what's that?
Rebel, Mike, everybody in this chat, we all have our own minds. We all think. Why in the hell in party? No. There could be hundreds of parties. You don't follow a party line. You follow your heart. It's either this is good for the people or it is not. The two-party system is dead. It needs to go away. It needs to go back to individuality, which it always should have been, but we have been buffaloed. It is a two-party system for 200 years, 150 for sure. It is a blatant lie that we have been told. I'm sorry. It needs to go back to Travis has a decision. I have a decision. Everybody's got a decision. We put together and go, wait a minute. That ain't helping the people. We ain't doing it. Because the federal government has not a damn thing to do with the people. It's the states that deal with the people because we run the state. Federal government, they have to do with across seas political, and anybody that reads the Constitution is going to know this. They deal with across seas on the political, on the tariffs. They have 4 jobs. And if you don't know what they are, read the damn Constitution, and not a one of them says anything to do with making laws for the American people. And who makes the laws for the American people now? The federal government.
Yeah.
It is bullshit from day one, and that's the problem people get away from, is we forget that one fact. So then we get to arguing about little shit, which they want. They don't want us to realize we have all the power and they have none when it comes to the American people. Anybody that disputes that has not read the Constitution or does not understand what it's saying.
And Shane, that the whole, the red state, blue state divide that we hear so much about, there's some reality to it. I mean, you live in Oklahoma, so it's a red state, and you actually have at least some representation. But I think I think that's like a creation of the party system as well, because who does it serve? It serves them to like have the whole country or divided into these red areas, blue areas, red states.
Well, let me
I live
add,
in a blue.
let me stop you there. And I hate to be rude, and I apologize.
Yeah.
You know why there's red states and blue states? Goes back to what I said, party lines. There is no such thing as a party line. Everybody's individual. Go back.
Right. So we're saying the same thing. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Because I live in a quote unquote blue state. Have you met me? And most of the people who, I know a ton of people here who grew up in this state, and they'll tell you, they're like, this is a red state. Same thing in California. It's a blue state. There are a lot of wonderful people in California, a lot of great conservatives. So to be thinking about ourselves, this is kind of a pet peeve of mine, and it happens a lot. People say, well, you people in those Northeast states, or you people in California, look at all that crap that's going on, and you know what? You got what you voted for. You get what you deserve. That's the wrong attitude. We're Americans, and there are a lot of people who didn't vote for that. There are a lot of people who aren't on board for that. Gavin Newsom there were enough people to have a recall election. Now, I don't know what kind of funny business went on in that election, but just the fact that there was enough political will to have it shows me that there's a lot of red in California. That's just one example. So we have to stop thinking about each other that way.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. All right. I'm going to, we're fixing to crash this plane. We're going to hit something hard so none of us limp away. So what everybody does.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me on, Shane. I actually don't know what prompted the invitation, but I appreciate it.
I wanted to hear from you because I like your point of view. I like what I hear most of the time. We say the same things just in different ways. That doesn't make us opponents. It just means we have different. We took 2 different paths to get to the same place, basically.
Yes.
You've got a degree to where I have no degree.
The degree doesn't mean anything.
I got a 3rd degree in psycho, I guess. But that's what I like, is I like if you don't talk to somebody that's got these degrees or someone that's got the knowledge of law, you can't ever expand your own mind. And that's what I like. I like expanding my own mind. So
Well,
I
thank you.
want to continue this conversation with you again and again and again.
I have an idea actually
All
for your
right.
show. This is a Sunday night thing. I do not follow football at
I
all.
don't either.
Okay.
I haven't
Um,
several years.
maybe there is one of your panelists. Maybe I don't know if Mike follows football. I don't know about Travis either, but you know how they do like the squares, so like the betting, like whatever. We could do some kind of version of that, but for candidates and track the 2022 Olympics, and we could talk 2022. We can like do something like that with our squares or our predictions, and that might be a fun thing to do on a Sunday night
No,
for those
Monday.
people who
Monday.
or Monday. Oh, is that when
Because
they do it?
So
no,
instead of
well,
doing
and
the
here's
football,
the deal. Not only that, it's usually I try to bring my sister on Sundays. If you
Oh,
haven't
okay.
watched the two shows I have done, you need to go back and watch them, please. And I would appreciate that if you would.
I'm usually
But,
over on Travis's show, so I apologize if I miss him.
No, you're good. You can catch them anytime. You can go back and look. But Sundays, I usually try to bring her on, but she wasn't feeling quite well. She had a sniffle and she didn't want to come on wiping her nose and stuff. So not a big deal. But I try to bring her on and we'll talk about anything. I'm trying to get her to become my co-host. Now, if her husband's home, she won't do it. So there's Sundays I can't have her because when her husband's home, she's with him. I don't blame her. I don't blame
Well,
her.
we could do it once in a while, or we could pick another day, or we could.
The Mondays would be good because I'm looking for another day that I can do this, which is going to be me and Mike's off Sunday and Monday. So Monday would be a good day that we could all get together and do this.
Yeah, we could do election 2022 tracking and our football squares, or however you want to do it. I don't know anything about that, but I'm sure somebody does.
Oh yeah, and only request I have is Travis going to have to shut up and give us time to talk because he just talked way too much tonight.
Yeah. And I promise
Yeah.
to be muted because I'm sure I've talked too much myself. So
You're
day
good.
16.
yes.
What you talking about the betting that is called football pools.
Oh,
So
that's
instead
it.
of doing
Yeah,
a football
the
pool, you want to do a politician pool.
Right. So I'm sure somebody could set it up, but that would be a lot of fun.
I think
Right
it
now,
would
the
be-
only politician pool I want to do is I want to pull half the friggin' heads off because every one of them's complicit in the shit that's going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway,
Money.
Travis, give me your
Yes, sir.
final thought, sir.
Same thing I say every night. Know your neighbor, love your neighbor, help your neighbor. That's the way it works. We got to build our communities back together again, or we're not going to have a pot to pee in.
That's it. Rebel?
Oh, final thoughts.
Yes, sir.
Doing your research when it comes time to voting in this election cycle. Listen and do your research.
Fair enough.
Get to know your candidates. I think that's the one of the. Oh, sorry, I was reading a chat, and I already addressed that. Tyrone, grow up. Yeah, do your research. Read up on people, dig into their past. Make sure you put it, like the correct people in.
Sorry, had a coughing fit. On day 16, final thought.
I would say stay focused on the important goals and try to filter out the signal from the noise from the signal.
All right. No, I like that. My final thought is people, all the chatter throughout the YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, Rumble, the mainstream media, government. It's a good place to go hear certain things, get points, but don't ever take anything you hear, even from me, with a grain of salt. Research it. There's always something you can go out there and research. There's DuckDuckGo, there's Google, there's Bing, there's all kinds of things out there. You can go research it for yourself and get a different point of view. You hear something, go research it and see if you can find something different. If all you're hearing is the same thing, that might be a pretty good chance that's true. That's what I'm trying to say. If all you hear is everything's different, pretty good chance that person's wrong. And a lot of times I'm wrong. I do the best I can. I am not a professional researcher. I do a lot of research. I just never said I was great at it. So anyway, you all have a good evening. I appreciate every one of you for coming on. Love everybody. Thank you, chat, everybody out there. Man, it has been wonderful. Thank you for being here and showing up. And we will see you. It looks like next Sunday, but hell, who knows? We may pop on tomorrow just to piss Travis off.
We're gonna go live after this. So if anybody wants to come over and continue the conversation, it'd be that'll be all right.
There you go. There you go. So anybody out there wants to go jump off of here and go see Travis, they're up. I'm sure Gigi and Bonnie's up if that's what your choice is. There's a couple up tonight that's well worth listening to and having fun. So please, everybody, enjoy, and we will see you all no later than next Sunday.
There you go. Thanks for the invite, Shane. I really appreciate it. Joy's always
thank
enjoy.
you. Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on.
You bet.
Y'all have a good one.
All righty.
Yep, have a good one.